Good evening, how are you? Well, actually today, I would like to talk about a very important idea and a very important topic, which is why we should be able to speak English. As you know, many of my students, they have a great grammar, they have a great ability to write. I mean, they have the ability to make creative piece of writing, but they miss something important, which is the ability to speak. As you know, speaking English is very important, and for today, I'm going to talk about why we should be able to speak English and why we should do it actually. You know, for many reasons. For many reasons, we should be able to speak English. Maybe the first one and the first reason is that English is easy. I mean, it's very easy to speak English. It's not a difficult one. It's not like Arabic language, it's not like Chinese, it's not like German language. It's very easy to speak English, you know, and it's common in every society. For that reason, it's unlike other languages, and you can do it like a piece of cake. Within a short time, you can speak English. The first reason is that it's easy. For that reason, you should do it because it's easy. The second reason why you should speak English, why should we do it, why you should fight in order to speak English. Well, actually, the second one is English is international language. I mean, you can speak English wherever you go, whenever you are, you can do it. No need for a translator. You don't need someone to help you. If you travel to Turkey, to Germany, to Spain, to any country, even to China, okay, you can speak English, and all people are going to understand you. It's going to be easy for them to understand you, more than if you are talking to them in your local language. For that reason, you should do it because of, it's easy, and because of it's somehow international one. Okay. The third reason why you should be able to speak English is that it's English business. I mean, let me say that whenever you have a conference, whenever you have a meeting, or whenever you have something about sending emails or sending, formal letters, you have to do it in English. If you are studying at university, if you have, let me say, kind of interview or meeting or anything at all, the first question is going to be, tell me about yourself, tell me about your English. And for that reason, you should do it because English is important. Okay, you should do it, and you should keep doing that because of English is number one. Okay, and whenever you have to continue your study, or whenever you would like to send email or to do anything at all, you should be able to speak English. Okay, even for business, for sending emails, for sending anything about public relations, you should be able to speak English, and you should do it actually. The fourth reason is that most of the books on the internet, most of movies, music, everything nowadays is in English. I mean, if you would like to communicate with your favorite writer, or if you'd like to communicate with your favorite singer, you can do it in English, not in your local language. I mean, you can do that, you can communicate with them in English. Okay. Even if you would like to read or listen to audiobook of your favorite books, okay, even new books, okay, they are in English, only English, not Arabic. And even maybe if I'm talking about scientific books about technology or something related to science, okay, most of the books are in English. Actually, not most of them, all of them are in English. For that reason, if you'd like to understand them, if you'd like to understand what they are talking about, you should do that in English, not in Arabic. Okay. Number 5, the fifth point of the importance of you being able to speak English is that the content of the internet, I mean, the internet nowadays is in English. Okay, 50% of the content of the internet is in English. Okay, for that reason, if you would like to look for something, or if you would like to find something, or if you'd like to have anything, then you should do it in English. Okay, because it's 50%, as I've said. 50% of the content of the internet is in English. For that reason, please do that in English, not in any other languages. Just imagine, nowadays we have hundreds of languages all over the world, and if you are going to make like bargain, okay, for your future, then you should do that in English, not in any other languages. Okay. Next point is that whenever you travel abroad to any country, okay, you have English and you can speak that in English. I mean, if you travel to Turkey or to Germany or to France, okay, instead of going to international hotels or international motels, okay, you can have that in your English. I mean, if you travel to France and you'd like to just like to have an app or to go to a restaurant, okay, you should do that. Excuse me. Okay. If you travel to France for the sake of maybe business or to visit Louvre or anything, okay, and you can speak French, it's going to be a problem for them. But if you can speak English, then it's okay for them, no problem. They are going to communicate with you in English, and it's going to be easy, they are going to be happy, and you can communicate with them, and everything is going to be understood, okay. For that reason, it's like, a green card, okay. English is like a green card. For that reason, it's very important to speak English. Maybe if you are thinking of traveling, you should do that. If you are thinking of living abroad, you should do that. Because believe me, if you are traveling to any country and you don't have English and you don't have the native language, then it's going to be, your biggest mistake. For that reason, you should do that at least to learn the language or, to speak English or be able to speak English, at least to the minimum, level, okay? Next point, the social background in all over the country or all over the world, in any country, all over the world is in English, okay? Let me give you an example about that, social background. Whenever you say coffee, okay, it's common in all over the world that coffee means, coffee means coffee, yes. They are going to understand it, okay. They are going to know that you would like that drink, that very specific drink, okay. Or if you say just like water, okay, they are going to know that you need a cup of water, okay. Because it's common all over the world. Those expressions, okay, that are being used in English, okay, all of them are, common internationally, okay, all over the world. For that reason, you can do it, and it's easy for you to do it. Okay. The point number 9 is, English opens the doors for you. I mean, whenever you are thinking of doing anything, whenever you think of having a business, whenever you think of, traveling, having a new job, doing anything at all, okay, you can have English. It opens any door. If you are looking for making an article, a research, a study, continuing your study, doing anything, okay, English opens the door for you, okay. If you have, if you have a job, whenever you have English, then it's going to be an advantage for you. It's going to be easy for you to have a better job by English. It's going to be very easy for you to continue your study by English. If you are looking for having a better job, it's English. If you are thinking of, having kind of traveling to any country in order to have a lovely time and great time, okay, it's going to be in English. For that reason, English is, important at that time. For that reason, it opens any door. I mean, whenever you speak English, then you can open many doors that you are unable. You can do them. You can open those doors if you can do that. The last point, and it's very important for you nowadays, it's very important for my students in Syria, for my friends, for my colleagues. English is a national advantage. Let me clarify this point. Whenever I would like to apply for a job, okay, they are going to ask you, can you speak English? And if your answer is yes, then you are going to have a higher level. They are going to accept you. If you have any job and you have English, then you are going to get a higher salary. Okay. If you have anything at all, if you have any job, anything in your country, even in Syria, here in Syria, and you can speak English, then you are going to get a higher chance of getting a higher job, of getting a higher salary. Okay. Even your social position in society, they are going to look at you, oh my God, he can speak English, okay. They are going to think that, okay, he's clever because he can speak English. Even though, as I've said, it's easy to do it, okay. For all of those reasons, for all of that,